Happy Friday morning, beautiful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are streaming from this morning. It is January the 3rd, 2025, and it is an honor to come before your presence this morning again with Jesus, Joan, and Journal, talking about all things alignment and being aligned with the things that God has placed inside of you to make sure that you are walking in purpose or walking in the desires of your heart. This morning, we are on day three. And before I get into the conversation, I want to invite you to please, if you are here or if you're watching the replay, I want to invite you to go to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am trying to see what can happen. I want to get to 500 subscribers. I never really focused on YouTube as much as I want to now. So if you're hearing me this morning, if you are here with me, I'm going to ask if you would please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. And in the bottom under this broadcast is the link to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm going to share this broadcast to my group. So give me a second as I do that. All right, I'm sharing this to Books to Business and Beyond. We're broadcasting on two platforms this morning, my Facebook page and YouTube, and I just shared it to my group, Books to Business and Beyond. And I don't know if you have joined the group as yet, but this year we're doing some amazing things in the group. All things books, all things business, all things legacy. That's it, right? That's my gift. That's what God gives me to do. God gave me the gift of helping people tell their stories. So every day when I wake up, most days when I wake up, right? Most of the days that I wake up, I am doing something to walk in that purpose, right? Either having a consultation, helping people to write their books, coming up with ideas and creative ways that we can help people get their book out into the world. We want you to leave a legacy. And sometimes a lot of us may not have money to leave, but we have our words, we have our gifts, we have our thoughts, we have our skills and our talent that we can write, that we can record, and we can publish, right? So that the generation after us can see it and get it and understand it and know it. I want my great-grandchildren to know about me, but they won't know as much about me if I wasn't writing. So far, I've written 15 books, and they can always go for the next 200 years. Someone of my family members will see those books, right? So it's the power of the pen. It's the power of your lived experience and your life. And it's nice to be able to put that somewhere so that the next generation who comes after you will see that. Today, we are on day 3 of being aligned in 2025. And today, we're going to be talking about obedience. That's our topic for today, walking in obedience and what it means to walk in obedience. So the last 2 days, first day, we talked about, let me go back to my notes, see why it's important to write, right? So you don't forget. First day, we talked about seeking God's will, right? His will for our lives. And we talked about Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Yesterday, we talked about recognizing your gifts and refining your vision. And then today we're talking about walking in obedience. Again, the last 2 days, I forgot to introduce myself. So if you're joining me for the first time, my name is Dr. Joan T. Randall. I am the visionary CEO of Victorious You Press. Victorious You Press is a publishing company where we help people write and publish their best-selling books so that they can monetize their mastery, their influence, and their impact create legacies and build multiple streams of income. So that's what we do. Outside of that, I am the director for the women's ministry at I Believe God Ministries International. And so every Wednesday, I do on the ministry page, I do a Women of the Bible. We've been doing that for like 3 seasons now. I've covered almost 90 women in the Bible in details, in depth, right? So you can catch me anywhere there. I'm also the co-executive director of a nonprofit called the Boost Pad, where we help early stage entrepreneurs and start up business, build a foundation so that they can grow and scale their business. So no matter how you look at it, whether it's ministry, the marketplace, or the mission, right? God has me in all 3 places in the center of doing it. And it all stems from the gifts that he has given me. I would have never been able to accomplish any of this stuff if God hadn't given me the gifts. But not only given me the gifts, is that I recognize the gift and I decide to do whatever it takes to walk in that gift. So I want you to go ahead and just read on the bottom of this broadcast and click on the links. If you want to book a consultation or a coffee chat with me, go ahead and do that. It is free. It's 20 minutes. It's free. And we can talk about what's on your heart, what's on your mind. What is it that you want to do in 2025? I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday, and one of the things we were talking about is that you can manifest your own life, the way you want to live your life. You have the power to do that. You have the power to live the life you want to live. You have the power to exist the way you want to exist. And some people might say, no, I don't have the power. Yes, you do. You do have the power to manifest the type of life you want to live. It may take a while. It may take some painful things, but you have the power to manifest the life you want to live. Take Joseph, for example, right? Joseph had to spend 13 years from the time he had his dreams about leading his parents and his brothers to the time that he got to where he got to was 13 years. He had to go to the pit. He had to go to Potiphar's house as a slave. He had to go to prison. Then he had to be prepared for his purpose to be at Potiphar's house. To be at Pharaoh's house. All those P's. You went to the pit, to Potiphar's house, to prison. All of that time, he was being prepared to fulfill his purpose at the second in command at Pharaoh's household, right? So you have it. And if you're watching me this morning, and if you're over 30 years old, you have been preparing all your life. You have been preparing all your life, because if you are over 30 years old, all of your life experiences has been the preparation for you now to be able to manifest the life that you want to live. It is completely in your control. Nobody else owns it but you. No spouse, no children, no situationship, no job, no boss, no employee, nothing, no one owns how you want to live your life moving forward. And I'm sharing this because we're in a new period, right? We're in a new season. We are in a new year. And I also, hey, good morning, Lisa. It is so nice to have you this morning with me. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for joining. And here's another thing that I want to share as well. The earth, nature shows us that we are going to experience seasons in our lives. God showed that to us. There's 4 seasons of the year. You have spring, you have summer, you have fall, and you have winter. Good morning, Apostle. It is so nice to see you. God showed us in his creation that there are seasons in our lives, that we're going to go through some stuff. And if you think about it, when you think about spring, it is the earth is susceptible. Success. I can't say the word. Susceptible. So anyway, the earth is ripe and ready for the seeds to be planted. That's what I wanted to say, right? So the earth is open. It's like it's prime. It's ready for seeds to be planted because that is a season. And then you get into the summer, and what happens? It's all this rain, right? It's rain. Why? Because it's nurturing all the things that you planted in the spring. And then you get to the fall. It's the harvest. The fruits are ripened. They are ready to be picked, right? And then you get into the winter where the time is colder. There is a sense of hibernation. People are now in that season getting ready to prepare for spring again. So they're buying all the things that's necessary for when spring to open for them because the earth is ready again. So God, in his infinite wisdom, shows us that we're going to go through seasons. It's never going to always be spring. It's never going to always be summer. It's never going to always be fall. And it's never going to always be winter, where time is cold and the earth is harder and nothing bears. And I don't even care if you're in a tropical climate, because I was born and raised in Jamaica. And we had cold, okay, around December, January, February. It was cold. And then we had the beautiful spring. In the summer, we have all this rain. And then you go into fall, you have all the things that you had planted in the spring comes forth. So even if you live in a tropical climate, you still feel the changes in the season. They may not be as drastic as an area that gets a lot of snow, but there is still changes in the season. So God in nature shows us that there's changes. And if you know that there are changes that's going to happen in your life, right? You also have to realize that you own the life you choose for yourself. You own it. It is not up to you. If you fail, it's not because of somebody else. It's because of you. If you win, it's not because of somebody else. It's because of you. And I'm going to add why it's you, right? It is you working with the Holy Spirit to win. If you fail, you have to understand that it's still you working with the Holy Spirit, because he never leaves you. He never leaves you. So you might see it as a failure, but spiritually, God might be showing you it's a different season that you're in, right? So no matter how you look at it, you own the way you manifest. You own what life becomes. You own all of it. And so you have the capacity, you have the capability, you have the power, you have the control, you have the wherewithal to change your circumstance. And now we're in 2025. What do you want to accomplish this year? What is it that you want to accomplish this year? And we talked about the past 2 days vision boards and people not believing in resolutions and people not believing in all the things. And I get it. I said before that a vision board only works if you work the vision. If you do not work the vision, the board don't work, because the board is just a visual, right? The board is a visual to remind you of what you committed to. That's all it is. The board itself has no power. The board itself cannot do the work. You own the work. You own the working of the board, right? So what is it that you want to accomplish this year? What do you want to see different? What changes do you want to make in 2025? And have you written that? Have you written that down somewhere? We're January 3rd, if you have not written what it is that you want to accomplish in 2025, you are already behind the eighth ball. There is something about a new day, a new month, a new week, a new year that tells your mind that it is possible for you to make a change. There is something about the newness that triggers something in your mind that says to you, I can ride this wave of newness. So if you're at January 3rd and you have not set your sights on some modification that you want to make in your life, a little change that you want to make in your life, you're kind of behind the eight ball. Because here's the thing, nothing changes if nothing change. Even if the year changed, the month changed, the millennial change, the season change, the decade change, if you don't change here, those days and times and newness means nothing. It means nothing, right? So you have to tell yourself that you are ready for this newness, that you are ready to make this change, and writing it down and putting action to it. Good morning, Patrick. How are you this morning? All right. So, what is the one thing that you want to accomplish? Or what is the three things you want to accomplish this year? I have a suggestion as to how you get to it. So, I want you to get a board. I want you to have your journal. I want you to get a visual. I don't care how big the board is, even if it's a small board, right? I want you to get some type of a board. And I want you to put anywhere from 1 to 5 things, no more than 5. 1 to 3, I would say. 3 is the max. 3 things that you want to accomplish for 2025. And I want you to put on that board. Yes, we are on YouTube right now, Patrick. We are. We are at Joan T. Randall TV on YouTube. Joan T. Randall TV on YouTube right now. So thank you for asking. Yes. So I want you to put on that board the 3 things that you want to accomplish, right? And once you write it on that board, I want you to look at which one is most important for you to accomplish. What the one out of the 3 things, right? Which is the one that you want to accomplish within the next 3 months. And once you identify that, I want you to put the one thing beside that you are going to do differently in the first 3 months of 2025 to make that happen. That's all I want you to do. 3 things for the year on a board, on a chart, in your journal, but you have to write it. Then of the 3 things, I want you to identify the one thing that is the priority that you want to work on. And once you identify that one thing, that the number 1 of the 3, I want you to put one action that you're going to take. Just one action. What are you going to do to make that thing happen in between now and the end of March? Talking about taking control over what you control, over your own life, that is how you do it. It's the first quarter. I'll give you an example. For this year, there are 2 things that are my priority. 2 things that are priority for me. Number 1 is my financial health. That's my Achilles heel. And number 2 is my physical health. That's also my Achilles heel, right? Those are my 2 priority for 2025. Those are my 2 focus, right? Everything else is still going to be in place, but my focus for 2025 to change the health of my money and to change the health of my physical, body. That is my focus. So on my vision board, that is my focus. My word for this year is alignment. So I also have to take into consideration, how am I going to align with my finances from a spiritual perspective? How am I going to align with my physical health from a spiritual perspective? That's for me. It's how I'm going to do it. So in the first 3 quarters, my focus is on my financial health. And if you notice, I didn't say money, because financial health is bigger than just money. It's bigger than paper. It's a lot of stuff. It is life insurance. It is 401k plan. It is Roth IRA. It is savings. It is having something, that you might be, I feel like I'm frozen, having something where you will be able to have at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months of your monthly expenses aside. I haven't done that in a long time, right? And so, what am I going to do in the first 3 months to make a change in that? Number one, I have a course that I'm taking for the next 2 months. That's why Jesus, Joan, and Journal will not be on the weekends, right? So I have enrolled in a course to impact my financial health, right? So that's the one thing that I'm doing differently in the first quarter to impact my financial health. And here is the thing, that course ends February 18th, and I take a test right after that. And then I go for my state license right after that, right? So by the end of March, I would have accomplished the one action that I wanted to make for one of the number one things that I want to change for 2025. That's what I'm doing. So I gave you an example because I want you to also know something. When I come on in the mornings and talk about whatever I talk about, I am speaking to myself first. I am sitting here on my laptop doing Jesus, Joan, and Journal, but I can't see anybody but me. I'm looking at myself. Yes, I see the comments on the sides, right? And that's all well and good. But I'm talking to me. So everything I say, I'm looking at my face as I am saying it. You're seeing my face, but I can't see your faces, right? I can only see your profile pictures and your comments. So know that when I'm speaking to me first before I'm speaking to anybody else, right? Because I'm in this with you. I'm no different from you. I'm as flawed as they come. I procrastinate at times. I waste my time sometimes, but I've got to fix some of those things. But the one thing I know about me, I take action. That's the one thing nobody can ever take away from me. Yes, I may procrastinate sometimes. I may get lazy at times, but you cannot take away my efforts. Because, baby, I show up and I put the work in and I do the thing. In February of 2025, I would have been in business. I will be in business for 9 years. 9 years. February 2025. And here is the thing. I am proud of that because there's a lot of people that have started their business and have quit. I'll be going into 9 years. Has it been easy? Absolutely not. Am I making the profit that I want to make as a business owner? Absolutely not. But I am encouraged to keep going. And let me tell you why I'm encouraged to keep going. I was watching a podcast recently, and they interviewed the guy from Starbucks, right? Starbucks is worldwide. And he said it took him 17 years to make a profit that was substantial at Starbucks. 17 years. Yes, he was being even, right? Because he was able to make the money to pay his staff, make the money to pay all of the expenses that he does with all of the franchises. But when it comes on to making a healthy profit that he can say, I've arrived, it took him 17 years. Listen, that might sound strange to you, but for me, it was encouraging. It was encouraging to me because I'm thinking to myself, yes, I have revenue coming in, but there are certain expenses that comes with you being a business owner that has to be taken care of. And the team that works for you, they have to be paid. So yes, we may be even at the end of the year, but even doesn't mean that you are profitable, right? And I'm just talking to business owners right now. So that you don't have to worry about. Let's get back to what this live is about. It's about how do you take action and change your circumstances for 2025. It's about taking one action. It's about doing one thing. But you've got to write it. You got to put it on the board. You've got to look at it. You've got to keep it at the forefront of your mind. And even on those days when you procrastinate, just tell yourself, you know what? Today, I'm just going to do one thing. I'm going to just complete one thing. Not your long list. Not your long. Here is my to-do list for Friday. I will never get all of this done today. You see where these highlights are? Those are the priorities. So if I can get the priority done, completed, accomplished, I'm going to pat myself on the back because there's no way that I'm going to get all of these. These check marks mean that it's completed already. These means that I got to get it done. This right here, baby, this is the priority. But that's how my brain works. My brain work. I've got to write it. I've got to highlight it. That's me. That's how I operate. That's how God made me. Right? Some people don't highlight their books and do all that. That's how I stay. I am a visual learner. Yes, I'll hear it. Yes, I can listen to what you're saying. But if you are showing it to me on a chart and I'm listening and I'm writing, my brain records it. Sometimes I can close my eyes and go back and see the thing that I highlighted and remember what it was. But that's me. That I'm tactile. I got to write it. I got to hear it. I got to see it. That's how Joan T. Randall learned. Some people can just hear it and get it. Some people can see it and get it. I've got to do all three. That's me. So you own that, right? All right. So I want to get to obedience because it's very important about how you move through. Let me just say hi, Doreen. Nice to see you, First Lady. Hi, Jim Davis. Good morning. Good morning. I want to make sure I haven't left anybody out. Let me see what Lisa says here. Lisa says, we have to learn how to access our current situation with our finances by learning how to budget and learning how to save. It is so vital. Absolutely. Our self-care is so critical if we don't. And that's why those are my two things, my financial health and my physical health. Here's another thing I'm doing for any one of you who financial health is an issue, right? I just saw a friend posted no spend weekend. Her and her husband have decided that there's one weekend out of every month that they will not spend unless it is food or gas. And if they buy enough food and fill their cars up prior to the weekend, they decide no spend weekend. They're not going to spend a dime because they want to see what they are going to save without spending. I decided that January was a no spend month for me. So the only thing I've bought since January 1st has been food, right? So I'm taking the same concept. I don't know if I can do it for the whole month of January, but I'm committed to 14 days in January where I'm not going to spend a dime on anything outside of food and gas. That's a start, right? That is a start. My course that I'm taking in January, I've already, put aside stuff for that. So that is education. And that has already been assigned, right? So I'm giving you these things that you can think about. What is the one thing I want to do? Let's talk about obedience, right? And Deuteronomy 5 and verse 33 says, "You shall walk in all the way that the Lord your God has commanded you, that you may live, and that it may go well with you, and that you may live long in the land that you shall possess." Baby, you can't possess the land if you don't work and put the effort in to buy the land, right? Let's take it from a 21st century perspective. The land is yours. You are the owners of the land. God has given you the resources that you work to possess the land. There's work that you have to do to possess the land. And I'm talking about ownership. When I hear the word land, I'm talking about dominion. The word land to me says I need to own some things. Dominion. What do I own? What am I the owner of? Where is my dominion? God commands are good. They are designed to protect, to guide, to bless, not to restrict us. That's why obedience is so important. Obedience is a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle, but it's also a choice. When you choose to be obedient and you make that choice daily and you make that choice with intention, it becomes how you live. It becomes how you live. I choose to be obedient to God. When I wake up in the morning, I choose to be obedient. I choose to follow his words. I choose to meditate on him. I choose to read my Bible. I choose to pray. I choose to give God my first fruits. Those things are choices. And if you choose to be obedient, it becomes second nature. It becomes your lifestyle. Obedience requires faith because a lot of times we don't see the manifestation of what we're working on until later. Obedience also takes commitment, walking in all the ways of God's commands, not picking, not choosing. Last night I was in a Bible study and we were in Revelation 3, and I think it was verse 14, no, maybe 15, 16, I can't remember. But I think it was anywhere between verse 14 through 17. And it was the letter that Paul was writing to the church in Laodicea. And that particular scripture says, you're neither hot nor cold. You're lukewarm. And because you are lukewarm, I will spit you out. Listen, you're neither hot nor cold. You're lukewarm. And because you're lukewarm, I will spit you out, which means it's saying that because you are lukewarm, you're making me sick. That's the vision I see. You got to choose how you want to show up. You got to choose how you want to live. Hey, Chantel, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, Regina, thank you so much for joining. I'm excited to have you on. Hey, Sister Heather, nice to see you. Hey, Evangelist Arolda, nice to see you as well. How you choose to show up, hot, cold, pick a side. But when you're on the fence, you will be spitted out. You know why? Because you are blind. You're not seeing, you don't have vision, right? You are just really nothing. I'm on the fence. On the fence will kill you. I'm uncertain. Uncertainty will kill you. Make up your mind and choose a side. You're going to do this or not. I'm going to do this or not. I'm going to be obedient or not. But you can't be obedient and then play the fence. Listen, that thing hit me in my head so hard last night. Oh my God. And then staying on the path, and I'm wrapping up, staying on the path, being consistent, showing up, avoiding distractions. Distractions can be caused by people. Distraction can be caused by influence. Distraction can be caused by fear. Distraction can be caused by desires that does not align with God's purpose for our life. We have desires because we see other people with things and we want to know how they get it. So we desire those things. But that's not what God wants for you. That's not, I envy somebody's house because it's big and pretty. And I'm thinking, how can she have that? What is she doing to get that house and I don't have? Maybe that style and size of house is not God's design for you. So stop looking at external forces that prevents you from being obedient. Stop being distracted and work on the thing that is yours. I want to show you a little chart. I don't know how big this is going to be, but I'm going to show you this chart, right? This chart, I don't even know if I can make this bigger. Maybe I can make it a little bigger. I hope you guys can see it. Maybe it's not big, but it's just say there's nothing wrong with you. It's just that you lack a routine, right? So when I saw this, and the reason why I put it here is because I have a difference of opinion from this chart. It says there's nothing wrong with you. You just lack routine. That I do not agree with. I believe that we lack obedience. We lack obedience when we play around and do nothing with the gifts and the skills and the talents that God has given us. We lack obedience. It's not routine. We lack obedience. And because we lack obedience, we can't get to where we want to get to. We cannot get to where we want to get to. So I want to leave you with a few things today, right? We won't have Jesus, Joan, and Journal this weekend, right? But I want to leave you, as I wrap up this weekend, I want to leave you with a couple of things. Write that thing, or 1 to 5. I say 5 is too much, but 1 to 3 things that you want to get accomplished this year. And again, for me, I told you mine. Mine is 2. My financial well-being, my financial health, and my physical health. Now, both of them I'm working on, right? Over the last year or so, I've lost over 35 pounds. I could have lost a whole lot more, right? But I need to be more committed to that, right? The eating, I've gotten down control over. The exercise is where I lack, because girl, sometimes I do not want to do the workouts, right? But that's a focus of mine for 2025. And so what am I doing for the first 3 months? I'm doing one thing on the financial health part
to establish that. And I'm doing one thing on the physical health part to get that going. My one thing is I'm taking a course on the financial side. My one thing is that I've signed up to do workouts. All right. So that's the one thing. Now, the goal is to be committed to that for 3 months. Hey, Sister Cheryl, committed to that for 3 months, my first 90 days. Don't stop. Even when you feel like you're not going to want to do it, just keep going. Get an accountability partner. Surround yourself with people that are doing the same thing. Let them encourage you so you can do it. Find a community, find an accountability partner, a coach, a consultant, a guide, a mentor, someone that you can say, here is what I want to accomplish in the first 3 months of this year. Here's the one thing I want to do. Can you help me stay committed to that? Partnership, community. Find someone that can pray with you when you feel like you're over it. That's how you're going to get it done. It's one bite at a time. It's one bite at a time. It's one thing at a time. It's that one daily action. One daily action that's going to change the way your 2025 look. And what's going to happen is that at the end of the year, if God has spared your life, you're going to be able to turn around and look back and said, you know what? I committed to doing one thing each quarter and I got it done. I got it done. It is possible. So I want you to go back and read Deuteronomy 5. I gave you verse 33. I want you to go back and read Deuteronomy 5. I want you to spend time in the Word of God. I'm going to give you some things that I wrote down here. I write everything, right? So I can come talk to you. So seek input from trusted mentors, friends, or leaders who can see your strengths and help you get where you want to go. Get involved, right? If your financial health is something that you want to work on, find a group that has financial thing. Pastor Lexi is doing a whole financial workshop. Join Pastor Lexi's financial workshop. I don't know if she's on this morning that she could drop the thing in the chat, but go find her. Her name is Lexi Worldwide Johnson on Facebook. She is all about financial stewardship. Join her group. Get on her page, right? If that's what you want to do. Your gifts, your visions, your talents, your skills, they are unique to you. They're unique to you. They're yours. You have everything inside of you to make you successful, right? To give you dominion. There is no comparison or competition in God's plan. Don't compare yourself to me. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't spend 24 hours a day on the internet, on Facebook, on Instagram, looking at people's lives while you waste yours away. Don't do that. You jump on everybody's live. You jump on everybody's preaching. You jump on everybody's everything while your life is wasting away. Give yourself a limit. Give yourself a limit. Evangelist Erolda says, thank you for your inspiration and tips to encourage business partners. Listen, all of you have the ability to own something. All of you, every one of you get to own something. Good morning, Cousin Faye. Good morning, Sister Cheryl. I hope I said good morning to you. All of us have the ability to own something. Own a piece of land, own a home, own a business, own some books, own a consultation, own a grocery store, own a baking thing. All of us. It's time for us to be owners. It's time for us to have ownership. Own something. Own it. Victorious You Press, I own it. It's mine. Nobody can take it away from me. Books to Business and Beyond is mine. I trademark the name. It's my intellectual property. I own it. What are you going to own in 2025? For those of you who are already owners, God bless you. But now what I want you to do is take what you have done in the things that you own and put it in a book so that somebody else can read your book and be able to implement the things that you have done to get to your ownership. That's what I want you to do. Now that you know it and you own it, how do I now write it, get it out to the world so that we all can own something? That's the charge I'm leaving with you this morning. And if you're interested, I have a 3-day free challenge coming up at the end of January. 3 days, free. The 27th, the 28th, and the 29th. I'm doing a free writing challenge. I want to show you how to write a business book or a journal or a how-to guide with all of the skills and the knowledge that you have. I want to show you how to put it in a book. And you're going to be in a class with me. And I'm going to not only show you that, but I'm going to also teach you how to lay it out, how to publish it so that you can have something to leave as a legacy. The link to join my 3-day self-publishing challenge is right below at the bottom of this video. Go ahead, click on the link, read who it's for, join, give me your name and your address, and I will send you all the information you need to join the 3-day free challenge. This is a gift I'm giving to you. Talk about when vision meets opportunity. Maybe you've had a vision to write a business book. Maybe you have had a vision to write a journal. Maybe you've had a vision to write a cookbook. Maybe you've had a vision to always write something that you can give back to the world. Joan T. Randall has just given you the opportunity to do that. And I'm giving it to you for free. 3 days, free challenge. All right? Listen, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you. May he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you on Monday. Bring some friends and come along. We gonna change the way we show up in 2025 by using all the things that we have on the inside and just making 1 or 2 changes. It's going to be a different year. God bless you. Love you all. All right, how do I do this outro?